Today on Good Morning Maine, police are looking for information after a group of puppies were abandoned in Buxton. Plus, the state has issued a formal warning about mosquito-borne illnesses after more cases of eastern equine encephalitis has been found across the state. And a local outreach and recovery center is seeking donations of warm winter clothes to donate to folks who need them. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Let's get a first check of that forecast. Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. All right, let's get into things this morning. Looking pretty quiet out there. Maybe a few clouds passing through in a few spots. We'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine today with a partly cloudy sky. Still good reasons to get outside today and enjoy what's left of the fall foliage with gusty winds taking place. A lot of the leaves are starting to blow away. As we move forward, though, there's a system off toward the west. We'll have to watch that along with a system that might develop eventually to the south as well. That may give us some chances of rain before we're all finished up. But futurecast for today, just a few clouds moving through, a partly cloudy sky, and that'll be about it. However, we'll add more clouds later on tonight, as will then become mostly cloudy. As for the winds, not too bad for us today, roughly out of the southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. There might be a few higher gusts up to 15 miles per hour at times, but tomorrow definitely looking to be a little bit more windy. Some sustained winds up to 12 miles per hour, gusts up to 25 miles per hour possible by Friday afternoon. So as for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy, and we'll have that southwest wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, upper 40s, mostly cloudy, south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 60s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for a few afternoon showers. That south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Looks like a nice day. Thank you, Devin. A Waterville area man was convicted on federal charges of possessing fentanyl and cocaine with the intent to distribute earlier yesterday following a 2-day trial in U.S. District Court in Bangor. According to the Department of Justice, the Waterville Police Department had received information about a large-scale drug trafficker selling cocaine and fentanyl out of his apartment. A 3-week investigation culminated in the execution of a search warrant at 39-year-old Victor Soto Sanchez's residence. Law enforcement officers found 5 pounds of fentanyl in powder and pill form, 5 pounds of cocaine, $5,000 cash, and several firearms. The street value of the seized narcotics was over $400,000. Soto Sanchez faces 10 years to life in prison and a $10 million fine. He will be sentenced at a later date. In other news now, a crew member is seriously injured after an explosion and fire on board a cruise ship docked in Portland. More than 100 passengers who were on the ship were safely evacuated. The Coast Guard says those passengers will not be allowed back on the ship. However, it's not clear if that's just for tonight. Firefighters say there was an explosion in the engine room of Ocean Navigator. They say the explosion came from a generator and that a crew member was burned. That victim was hospitalized with serious injuries.
There's been a recent fire on a vessel here in South Portland. However, our crews, the Portland Fire Department, Customs Border Protection, we all train together. So we're constantly looking at situations like this and training for scenarios like this. And I think the training paid off.
There are no reports that anyone else was hurt. The ship had 128 passengers and 82 crew members on board. CBS 13 asked the owners of the ship what the plan is for all 128 passengers. The company responded saying they're housing them at a local hotel. The Coast Guard is leading the investigation. Police are trying to figure out who abandoned puppies on a roadside in Buxton, and the shelter taking care of them has a message. The Buxton Police Department says the puppies were found huddled together in a box. The Animal Refuge League of Greater Portland says it took in the puppies, 5 in all, ranging from 1 pound to 3 pounds. They weren't in great shape and received a lot of medical care, but now they're in foster care. The shelter says it's seeing an increased need for animal care in general, and shelter members say they'd prefer people turn to them rather than leave animals on the side of the road.
We're here as a community resource, and we want people to know that there's no judgment if you need help, and we're here for anything from vaccine clinics we've held, spay-neuter clinics. If you need to surrender a pet for whatever reason, that's what we're here for, to help take care of that.
The Animal Refuge League says the puppies are doing much better. Anyone with information about where and who these puppies belong to is asked to contact the Buxton, Maine Police Department. The state of Maine has issued a warning about mosquito-borne diseases after new cases were discovered in horses and other animals across the state. On Wednesday, our David Ledford spoke with experts about how animals and humans alike can protect themselves.
Been a very busy year for mosquito-borne diseases.
Over the past few weeks, 2 potentially deadly diseases spread by mosquitoes have been found throughout Maine. The state confirmed cases of eastern equine encephalitis in both emu flocks and in horses across multiple counties, with 1 case of the West Nile virus found in a horse in York County. And back in August, mosquitoes in Wells tested positive for the Jamestown Canyon virus.
This is the first year that we've seen all 3 of these viruses in Maine. We're really concerned.
Experts are urging owners of animals sensitive to the virus to take immediate precautions, which include vaccinations and keeping mosquitoes from biting in the first place.
The key thing when we're dealing with EEE is what we call it, is managing mosquitoes. But the way we protect horses, first of all, is vaccination. It only protects for about 6 months. If it's been more than 6 months since your horse was vaccinated, you probably should get it revaccinated.
Although the CDC has not reported a single human case of any of these viruses this year, experts say it's still important to take precautions, like wearing long-sleeve clothing in the outdoors and using mosquito repellent.
The most common way that you're going to get exposed to these diseases is the bite of an infected mosquito. Wearing pants, socks and shoes, long sleeves, a good EPA-approved insect repellent.
In addition, experts say it's best to empty buckets and other reservoirs with standing water where mosquitoes often lay their eggs. In Old Town, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Multiple law enforcement units, including many from out of state, were seen on the Husson campus yesterday afternoon. But no crimes were committed. Devin Dagnall tells us more.
Law enforcement from around the state came to Husson today to look for the next generation of first responders for their town. Wednesday morning and afternoon, Husson University hosted its 14th annual Legal Studies Career Day, inviting agencies throughout the state and beyond to meet up with up-and-coming legal studies students.
But it's not a scary situation that I've come to learn about.
What started as an event with only a handful of tables has exploded into a showcase of over 70 agencies looking to fill their vacancies with promising Husson graduates.
We have a lot of options from not just Maine, but out of state. It gives them a chance to see the small town organizations to federal, like marshals.
According to School of Legal Studies Director John Michaud, the success and planning of the event can be contributed to the students who help put it on, but they're far more modest about their contributions and see it as a combined effort.
So in reality, a lot of it starts off with the professors. They do a lot of the outreach to the organizations and stuff. But when it comes down to how this gets set up, where agencies are going, electrical issues, stuff like that, they rely on a lot of that to be us.
In Bangor, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
I think I saw somebody from Northwoods Law on there. Okay, the director of the Office of Child and Family Services faced tough questions from lawmakers at the Government Oversight Committee hearing yesterday. In part 3 of our series, From Care to Crisis, our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard attended the hearing and spoke with the director afterwards.
If we were to take a vote today, I would take a vote of no confidence in you because the buck stops there.
On Wednesday, the Government Oversight Committee had some hard questions for the director of the Office of Child and Family Services after a new report gave the department failing grades.
If we were to pull out the indication numbers from that report, our numbers would actually show a decline in the number of these reports or maltreatment over the past few years.
That answer wasn't good enough for committee members.
Dead child is a dead child. I don't want to hear that how we collect our data, that we're collecting more data than we need to, or we're being more honest than we need to be. The fact is, we've had more deaths since we started, it seems like, than we did in the past.
But some members say the mistreatment at DHHS reflects on the committee as well.
I see that as a failure. We have failed so far.
I think we are a failure at the Government Oversight Committee at this point in time. I think we can fix it. we're going to have to take the bull by the horns.
One thing both committee members and Dr. Landry agree on is that changes need to be made for the safety of Maine children.
I want to be clear that when it comes to Maine's children and the safety of Maine's children, more needs to be done, and more will always need to be done.
We need the information, right, that we're demanding from the courts. We need that. I believe we absolutely do. And I absolutely don't want to hear anything more about the past administration dismantling anything, because you know what? We've had this administration long enough to make changes. Every time we're asked for money and increased positions, we vote for it because we care about children. In a completely bipartisan manner, we care about children.
This committee hearing wasn't the last time the Department of Health and Human Services will likely be in the hot seat. Next week, the department is scheduled to appear for 2 legislative meetings regarding how they deliver services and their handling of deaths within the Adult Public Guardianship Program. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Fall enrollment at Maine's community college hit a historic high. More than 19,400 students are attending. That surpasses the record set in 2011 and is up 16% from last year. David Degler, president of the Maine Community College System, said, quote, "At a time when Maine desperately needs more skilled workers and Mainers need good jobs to support themselves and their families, we're extremely pleased to see enrollment increase so significantly." Officials say enrollment was boosted by a new tuition-free scholarship for recent high school graduates and expanded nursing programs statewide. That is definitely good news. Love to see it. Okay, the time now is 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, officials are concerned with the drop in numbers of young lobsters in Maine. We'll hear from lobstermen on the matter. But first, let's take another look at that forecast. Partly cloudy today. It's going to be a beautiful day as soon as those clouds clear up. High of 63 degrees, dropping down to 49 tonight. That's the low. Those clouds will hold on tomorrow as well. Mostly cloudy, chance of rain tomorrow. High of 64.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Get ready to clown around this Halloween. Fright at the Fort 2023 Carnival of Fright. October 14th, the 21st, and 22nd, and October 28th and 29th at Fort Knox in Prospect. There are no at-the-door ticket sales. Fright Night at the Fort 2023 Carnival of Fright. Tickets online at fortknoxmaine.com.
Hi, Eastern Maine. Watch Person, Place, or Thing right here on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 10 a.m.
You accidentally locked yourself out of the home. Have you seen these texts where he says, like, we're here at the property?
My phone was disabled for 6 months. I can't text people. I can't see anything.
But you sometimes were texting him?
Hot Bench, Thursday at 3 on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Maine lobstermen are bracing for more restrictive catch sizes in the Gulf of Maine. This is after a new survey found the population of young lobsters dropped nearly 40% over the last 3 years. Brad Rogers spoke to lobstermen in southern Maine and has more.
These 1-pound lobsters make up the majority of a lobsterman's catch. But when the American Lobster Board's new catch size limits kick in, lobstermen will have to return many of these 1-pounders to the sea.
We've always thrown the small ones back. We've always thrown the big ones back. Now our small ones are going to be a little bit bigger.
Lobstermen say they want to know how this trap and troll survey was conducted.
If you let your trap set 4, 5, 6 nights, you don't see any. Because they've come in, they've ate your bait, they've gone back out. I see all kinds of small lobsters out there. So that seems to me like we're getting set up right from the get-go.
The new catch size limits take effect in 2025, gradually increasing the size of young lobsters that can be caught over the following 4 years. It also changes the maximum catch size. But if Canadian lobstermen choose to ignore these new catch size limits, they could undermine Maine lobstermen.
There's concern that that's going to undermine the U.S. price, and we're hoping that the managers will have discussions with Canada and try to level that playing field.
Marine Resources Commissioner Pat Kelleher says the delay in implementing the gauge size increase will provide Gulf of Maine states the opportunity to coordinate with Canada regarding possible trade implications. These catch size limits are intended to increase the number of lobsters in the Gulf of Maine, but in the short term, Maine lobstermen are likely to take a hit.
Obviously, going to be less product landed. I don't really spend too much time wasting my thoughts on it because there ain't much I can do about it. They give me the measure, I'll use it.
We will catch those lobsters eventually. So there are some definite short-term economic implications from changing the gauge, because for that year, you're not going to catch those lobsters, but they're still in the ocean to be caught later.
As temperatures turn chilly, for many of us, it's as easy as reaching for that warm winter coat. But for those who perhaps don't have that option, the Bangor Area Recovery Network is stepping up. Barn is seeking donations of winter coats, socks, gloves, and hand warmers. And starting October 23rd, they'll be accepting them at their Brewer facility located at 142 Center Street. Folks will have until October 31st to drop off donations. And they are not alone. If you keep your eyes open, I'm sure a lot of other organizations are collecting donations like that to distribute to the community. It's getting colder. Okay, moving on now. Ever since the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, every Wednesday you can find a group of locals in downtown Bangor spreading a message of peace. The group meets on the corner of Harlow and Center Streets across from Bangor City Hall for a vigil to end war, asking people as they drive by to honk for peace. Some are affiliated with the Peace and Justice Center of Eastern Maine. Some have families currently in Israel, and all want to see end to war.
Well, I'm Jewish, and I have a nephew living in Israel, and I'm very concerned about my nephew's and his family's safety.
I guess it reminds people that there are wars going on, and that
ongoing too.
Those are not the way to settle whatever the disputes are.
Right.
The group has been organizing together each week since Russia attacked Ukraine. And they say they will continue given the war between Israel and Hamas. The vigil is from 12 to 12:30 each Wednesday. They say anyone is welcome to come help spread their message of peace. All right, the time now 6:17. After the break, Youth Hunting Day in Maine has been extended to 2 days to give youth hunters a longer amount of time to try to bag a deer. We'll hear more as Good Morning Maine continues.
When the Coach House Restaurant wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. The Coach House Restaurant, family dining at its best with fine home-cooked meals, delicious homemade desserts, and a large menu of tasty offerings for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
From a gallon of gas to a gallon of milk, everything costs more these days. And question 3 will make things worse. It'll cost billions, and we'll be on the hook for it. It will increase our electric bills. And question 3, it doesn't require an operations plan, not even for emergencies or power outages. Question 3 is too costly and too risky for my family. I'm voting no on 3. It's a bad idea for Maine.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates.
Hi, I'm Angelina Mucci.
And I'm Andy Mucci of Family Fun Bowling Center.
When we want to know the weather, we go to foxbangor.com.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary year, Family Fun Bowling Center has 20 lanes of 10-pin bowling at its best.
Young deer hunters across Maine are gearing up for Youth Day, which for the first time has expanded. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
Maine's annual youth deer hunt is returning this weekend, and for the first time in decades, the young hunters will get 2 days to try for a deer.
Junior hunters that are hunting under a junior license are eligible to hunt on either of those or both of those youth hunting days this year.
Lieutenant Aaron Cross, a Maine game warden, says youth-only hunting days gives young hunters a chance to get their deer without the added competition from adults.
It gives younger hunters an opportunity to maybe be more successful than they would be on other days.
Although adults are not able to shoot on the youth days, they are required to supervise the young hunters.
We try to make sure people are hunting responsibly when it comes to laws and rules that pertain to that particular activity.
Cross says hunters are required by law to wear at least 2 pieces of high-vision apparel while out on the trails for their safety.
We have a really comprehensive website online. It's mefishwildlife.com, and on that website you can find all of the laws, rules, regulations, safety tips. It's a great outdoor tradition that we have in Maine, and we want to keep it as safe and ethical as possible.
The hunts will take place on Friday and Saturday. Cross says if this year is successful, they hope to make Youth Day a 2-day hunt going forward. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Friday and Saturday. That's awesome. All right, the time now is 6:21. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. And otherwise this morning, not too bad as we start things off. Just some clouds developing in a few spots, though. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky for us today. The big picture looks a little bit like this. So we have a system right about here across parts of the Midwest, another one off for the north. High pressure across the south for now. We will be watching for more clouds and eventually some rain that will be moving in coming up very soon. A small chance tomorrow, but better opportunities as we head towards Friday night and the parts of Saturday. So as we do move forward, though, a partly cloudy sky will be the general idea for us today. By later on tonight, we're going to be watching for more clouds that will begin to approach, so will then become mostly cloudy overnight tonight and parts of tomorrow morning. Most of Friday dry until parts of the afternoon where slight chances for showers look to move in. Those might be overdoing it just a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on it, though. But small chances for showers possible Friday afternoon. Better opportunities overnight Friday night and a parts of Saturday. Plenty of dry hours that will be expected as well. We'll be ready for the rain. Looks like the rain will be lasting through a good part of the weekend. And as for the winds, not too bad for us today. You might have a few gusts reaching up to around 15 miles per hour at times during the afternoon period. We'll then back off Thursday night or later on tonight. And the parts of Friday morning, but notice by Friday afternoon, some gusty winds possible up to around 20 to even 25 miles per hour at times. So our average high temperature is now ticked down to around 57 degrees. We'll do the lower to middle 60s today, tomorrow, and even in the parts of Saturday. The middle 50s for Sunday, lower 50s again for Monday, warming up a bit Tuesday in the middle 50s. And here we go, lower 60s again as we head towards Wednesday. The latest fall foliage map looks a little bit like this. Most of us are either at peak or even past peak now. Past peak in the Caribou area, Millinocket, Bangor, and Greenville are now considered at peak. So check out the fall foliage now before the leaves continue to blow away. So your forecast for today, lower 60s with a partly cloudy sky and a southwest wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, or for tonight though, upper 40s with a mostly cloudy sky and a south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now for tomorrow though, middle 60s, mostly cloudy, slight chance for showers and a south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. Here's looking at extended forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Rain really moves in later on Friday night into parts of Saturday, continuing into parts of Sunday as well before we dry out officially on Monday with a partly cloudy sky.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Bindi Irwin. She's faced pain and intense fatigue for years, and she says doctors dismissed it. Now this week, she reveals what she did and the procedure that finally helped change everything for her. It's what every woman should know. This week on Good Morning America.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hank's Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
I got rear-ended at a stoplight, and the insurance company tried to give me this tiny little check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
I called the Twos, and Lowry & Associates got me $300,000.
Call the Twos. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
To keep the doors open as long as we have, the customers always come first. And that's why we're against Question 3. Question 3 costs $13.5 billion. That's billion with a B, which could mean higher taxes for all Mainers. It turns our power grid over to the politicians, the same politicians that take money from the oil and gas companies. They put themselves first, not us. Question 3 is a risk Mainers cannot afford.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Right now, let's throw it over to Devin Dagnall for our national news segment.
Thanks, Emma. Today is day 16 without a Speaker of the House. The nominee, Jim Jordan, actually lost support during a second round of voting, and now there's word that some of Jordan's supporters have allegedly tried to intimidate House members who voted against him. ABC's Linz Landers has the details.
This morning, some House Republicans and their families claim to be getting death threats for voting against Congressman Jim Jordan for House Speaker. Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon says his wife has received messages warning her to convince her husband to support Jordan.
It's crossing boundaries. There's always, we're going to primary in this thing, but I'm sort of used to that personally. But yeah, trying to bully my wife is wrong.
And Iowa Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks says she received, quote, credible death threats and a barrage of threatening calls. Jordan responding, saying, quote, no American should accost another for their beliefs. We condemn all threats against our colleagues, and it is imperative that we come together. Stop. It's abhorrent.
A speaker has not been elected.
Jordan lost a second bid for Speaker yesterday, getting just 199 of the 217 votes he needs, losing support from the first vote. But he says he's not giving up.
I already proven I can get from the most conservative members of the conference to the more moderate members of the conference.
Jordan is a co-founding member of the conservative House Freedom Caucus and has refused to acknowledge that former President Trump lost the 2020 election.
Do you acknowledge that?
Meanwhile, with 28 days until a possible government shutdown and President Biden calling on Congress to provide funding for Israel, even Jordan's allies say it may be time to consider other options.
The world is burning, and I don't think many people we represent want us spending days upon days deciding who sits in the chair.
In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
President Biden's administration announces a new plan to help strengthen the country's electric grid. The administration says it plans to invest nearly $3.5 billion to improve electric grid resilience. The money will go toward 58 projects across multiple states. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says it is the largest federal investment for grid infrastructure. Granholm also says added to funding from private partners could bring the total to $8 billion. The plan is meant to make the electric grid more resilient during extreme weather events. And now to the latest in the war that's broken out between Israel and Hamas. President Biden was on the ground in Israel yesterday in a tightly secured visit that was both diplomatic but personal, as he met with family members kidnapped and taken hostage by terrorists. He also made some comments to helping civilians in the region. Liz Landers is in Washington, D.C. with the latest.
This morning, President Biden returning to Washington after a wartime visit to Israel, making his support for the United States' closest ally in the Middle East clear.
I come to Israel with a single message. You're not alone. You are not alone.
The president's high-profile visit, securing a deal with Israel and Egypt to allow safe passage of life-saving aid to Gaza alongside the United Nations and the World Food Program.
Israel has been badly victimized, but, the truth is that if they have an opportunity relieve the suffering of people who have nowhere to go. And if they don't, they'll be held accountable in ways that may be unfair.
Biden also meeting with victims' families and first responders. The president's visit came shortly after the deadly hospital explosion in Gaza that killed hundreds of people.
Based on the information we've seen to date, it appears the result of an errant rocket fired by a terrorist group in Gaza.
Several Arab leaders have publicly accused Israel's military of bombing the hospital, triggering protests across the region, with people shouting anti-Israel and anti-American slogans.
America is the devil, the real devil, because they supported Israel.
Before he left, President Biden also acknowledged some of the lessons learned from past U.S. involvement in Middle Eastern conflicts.
Justice must be done. But I caution this: while you feel that rage, don't be consumed by it. After 9/11, we were enraged in the United States. While we sought justice and got justice, we also made mistakes.
The president will address the nation during a primetime speech tonight, which he will deliver at 8 p.m. from the Oval Office.
In other news, most Americans should see their heating bills fall this winter. Recently, analysis by the Energy Information Administration shows most prominent forms of energy for heating, natural gas and electricity, are set to decline this winter after a large increase last year. The agency predicts the cost of heating a home with natural gas is likely to drop by an average of 21% from last year, saving the average household about $160 over the course of the winter. About 46% of households in the U.S. use natural gas to heat their homes. Wholesale natural gas prices have fallen because gas supply is currently outpacing demand. Last year, gas prices were high because the U.S. was sending more of it to Europe to replace Russia gas after its invasion of Ukraine. The cost of heating with electricity should also dip by an average of 1% nationally. Propane should see a decline of 3%. Unfortunately, heating oil costs are set to rise about 8% because there is a shortage of it in storage. Heating oil is mostly used here in the Northeast. Well, let's turn things back over to Emma.
Thank you, Devin. All right, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll find out why free flowers were being given away in downtown Bangor yesterday. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Irish Collision Center, Coastal Auto Parts, Comfort Shoes and More, Fogbrook Resort, Four Season Floral and Gifts, Hometown Health Center, Huff Power Sports, and Tip Trailer Grocers. Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With 25 years experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7. You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Thursday, October 19th, 2023. And today is National New Friends Day. Today is a reminder that throughout life, you can always make room for new connections, and we can always celebrate the potential for friendship wherever we go. It doesn't matter how old we are, it's always a possibility. Research has found time and time again, we are social creatures who need a strong social support. So today, be open to making a new friend. You know, I mean, it's hard because everybody's so busy, and I get it, and people who aren't, I mean, it's like, how do I make friends? You know, I'm not going to school, or I'm not going to work necessarily if you're retired, but there's always a way. You can get out there. Okay, on this day in history, in 1919, America saw the first United States Distinguished Service Medal award given to a living female recipient. Her name was Anna Howard Shaw. In 1926, John C. Garand patented the semi-automatic rifle. In 1951, President Harry Truman formally ended the state of war with Germany. And for some Boston sports history, in 1966, Bobby Orr made his NHL regular season debut for the Boston Bruins against the Detroit Red Wings. And in 1987, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted nearly 23% on this day, the largest one-day percentage drop in the stock market's history. For birthdays, today we have actor Michael Gambon, known especially for his role as Albus Dumbledore. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. Excuse me if I'm not. He passed away actually just a couple of weeks ago, I think on September 27th. He was at the age of 82 when he passed. Actor Jon Favreau is 57. He's known for films like Chef and Iron Man. He's one of those actors that I couldn't really put a name to, unfortunately, but he's in all sorts of stuff, and I know him well. And finally, now, actually, is that photo of him when he's in The Sopranos? Guys in the production booth, give me a yes or no. Swingers. Okay, never mind. I think he was in Sopranos, but either way. Okay, cool. Finally now, Jamaican reggae musician Peter Tosh, known for his solo work as well as his time in the Wailers with Bob Marley, was born on this day in 1944. He passed away much too young in 1987 at the age of 42, unfortunately. I love Peter Tosh. Great music. Okay, moving right along now. It's going to be a beautiful day. I think that's all I need to say. So let's check in with Devin Biggs for that forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. All right, let's get into things this morning. Looking pretty quiet out there. Maybe a few clouds passing through in a few spots. We'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine today with a partly cloudy sky. Still good reasons to get outside today and enjoy what's left of the fall foliage with gusty winds taking place. A lot of the leaves are starting to blow away. As we move forward, there's a system off toward the west. We'll have to watch that along with a system that might develop eventually to the south as well. That may give us some chances of rain before we're all finished up. But futurecast for today, just a few clouds moving through, a partly cloudy sky, and that'll be about it. However, we'll add more clouds later on tonight, as will then become mostly cloudy. As for the winds, not too bad for us today, roughly out of the southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. There might be a few higher gusts up to 15 miles per hour at times, but tomorrow definitely looking to be a little bit more windy. Some sustained winds up to 12 miles per hour, gusts up to 25 miles per hour possible by Friday afternoon. So as for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy, and we'll have that southwest wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, upper 40s, mostly cloudy, south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 60s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for a few afternoon showers, and that south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
A perfect fall day. Thank you, Devin. Okay, Bangor Floral was one of many businesses nationwide putting smiles on faces yesterday with the Pedal It Forward initiative. Pedal It Forward is a random acts of kindness effort organized by the Society of American Florists. The idea behind it is to help people start their day with more smiles and less stress. Those who walked by Bangor's West Market Square Wednesday morning could receive 2 free flowers, one for themselves and one to give to a friend, family member, or even a stranger. Bangor Floral owner Joseph Langley's says nothing beats making someone's day with something as simple as a flower.
It's just an awesome moment. You don't know what someone's going through when they're walking down the street. They're in their heads, they're looking forward, and the minute you approach them with flowers, their face just lights up. That smile is just, it's worth the effort.
That's awesome. I love to hear it. That's really all it takes some days. And he has an awesome shirt too, by the way. That shirt was so cool. Okay, well, if you're feeling stressed, flowers could be the key to turning that frown upside down. Research and behavioral studies from Harvard and Rutgers have shown the positive impact flowers can have on emotional well-being. And if you want to show someone you care about them, get them some flowers. Okay, still to come here this morning, we'll hear why yurts are being proposed to be a solution to the unhoused in the homeless crisis in Waterville. We'll be right back.
When visiting Maine, there are a few must-dos. Be a foodie. Relax on the water. Share your experiences. And start a shopping adventure at one of 17 Rennie's locations throughout Maine.
Ladies, a Maine adventure.
All That's Metal in Herman is ready to be your trusted partner for your metal roofing and wall panel projects. Our high-quality metal roofing and wall panel systems are offered in a variety of colors and styles and backed up with a 40-year warranty. We manufacture standard as well as custom sizes in our facility in Herman. Homeowners and contractors, elevate your structures with our market-leading metal roofing and wall systems. Stop by our retail store at 893 Coldbrook Road in Herman to see our selections and to discuss your upcoming project. All That's Metal, the best roof and wall systems on the market. It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Bucksport Regional Health Center, Coastal Auto Parts, John R. Crooker Insurance Agency, Osborne's Plumbing and Heating, River Road RV Repair, Stone Artisans, Wardwell Construction and Trucking, and Winterport Sheds.
Name an animal with a long neck.
Dinosaur, long neck, yeah.
Family Feud.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Waterville city officials have a new idea. They proposed temporary shelters for those living in the city's largest encampment. Owen Kingsley explains how some are feeling the urgency to do something, while others worry this plan is being rushed.
About 40 unhoused people live in this encampment off Front Street. And as winter approaches, the city is looking to buy up to 10 canvas yurts, sort of a dome-shaped tent, to offer them shelter this winter.
I've been here for 5 years, and all we've done is talk about it.
Waterville Mayor Jay Coelho doesn't have all the answers for the plan to put up these yurts, along with privacy fencing and security cameras along Head of Falls Park.
I'm not sure if the insurance company for the city will let us do it. I'm not sure if code will let us do it.
Still, Mayor Coelho says the need to keep people safe outweighs concerns about the city's liability, as well as the $10,000 price tag.
That is a cost that's worth. You're talking about human life. Keep the people warm.
You got to look at us like we're humans.
Josh Lukens lives in this encampment. He did not want to be shown on camera, but says they need better protection from the cold.
I don't want to go through it. I've been through it. If I didn't almost survive last year, what are the chances of me almost surviving this year, you know?
Other city leaders believe this proposal is being rushed.
I don't know whether this is a good idea or a bad idea. It is an idea, however, that was never discussed with the Public Safety Committee or with the Finance Committee.
Emotions boiled over at a recent meeting with city leaders not on the same page.
What I object, Mr. Mayor, is you sitting on your hands and leaving an issue like this undone until the very last second. That's just not the way to operate your city.
Are you housing a homeless person in your house? Because I am. Let's stop pretending that I've been sitting on my hands when it comes to the homeless issue, because I have not.
If the city's legal team signs off on the plan this week, the mayor says he'll call for a vote next week.
I think the council, as long as they have some answer, I don't think there's anyone on this council who doesn't want to do the right thing.
The UAW strike is taking a major economic toll on car companies and beyond. With two sides still far apart on a new contract, they could be forced to make some tough decisions. Fox's Bill Mullen has the latest.
With the United Auto Workers strike now in month 2, automakers and the businesses that rely on them are feeling the heat.
About a third of the suppliers in general are in some financial difficulty.
Through 5 weeks, the strike has cost the industry more than $7.5 billion, nearly half of those losses being felt by the big 3 Detroit automakers and putting a major strain on the economy in Michigan.
We've already had a lot of damage done, but we're in the danger zone in terms of being able to sustain all the investments that we have and all the businesses we have now.
While production on popular vehicles like trucks may survive the strike, smaller crossover vehicles with less demand may not.
If we don't get back to work right away, I do think that there will be entire production lines on the chopping block.
Despite those bleak predictions, workers on the picket lines are standing firm and say their fight is for everyone.
We out here for y'all. If we get paid more, you get paid more. Everybody eats.
The strike is also forcing companies to shift gears as they make plans for the future. Stellantis announced this week it would pull out of CES 2024, the Las Vegas tech trade show scheduled for January, citing the ongoing cost of the strike. And GM also postponed its investor day until early 2024. That's a signal to some that this standoff is not set to end anytime soon. Bill Melugin, Fox News.
All right, when we return, we'll have a live interview detailing the upcoming UCP of Maine Pumpkins in the Park event. We'll be right back.
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer.
Maine has the best shipbuilders in the world.
But to compete, we need reliable and affordable energy.
That's why we're voting no.
No on question 3.
It will cost Mainers billions and increase costs for families and businesses like Bath Iron Works.
Like Bath Iron Works. And the politicians, they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. We'd never do our job without a plan.
Please vote no on question 3.
It's a bad idea for Maine.
I got hurt in a car accident, and I'm worried the insurance company is trying to take advantage of me.
Fight fire with fire and call the twos.
Lowry and Associates got me $300,000 for my car accident.
We win for you.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Here's this week's featured deal.
The Old Mill Pub in Skowhegan is an historic restaurant and bar overlooking the Kennebec River. Enjoy the atmosphere while dining on local handcrafted pub fare, as well as Maine beers and craft cocktails. Also offering bar and catering services for your event or holiday party.
On sale Thursday at 9 a.m. A limited supply available half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Andrew Lohman. He's the Marketing and Community Relations Manager for UCP of Maine. Andrew, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning.
So you're here to talk about the event that you've come on to talk about many times before, the annual Pumpkins in the Park event.
Yep.
So for those folks who don't know, can you explain it a little bit?
Yep. So Pumpkins in the Park is our biggest annual fundraiser. This year it's our 21st annual one. It's going to be on Sunday, October 22nd. From 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Anna Shrine in Bangor.
Lovely. Okay. Yep. So, I mean, this is also your biggest fundraiser of the year, right? What does that mean to you guys at UCP of Maine?
Yeah, so it gives us a chance to raise some money for the programs that we offer. UCP is a nonprofit in Bangor that works with adults and children with physical, intellectual, and mental health needs. Mm-hmm. And it gives us a chance to raise some money and be out in the community at the same time.
Right. So it's fun and it's good for the community. That's a win-win for all attendees.
Yeah.
And there's a theme this year, correct? What's the theme?
Yeah, so every year we put a theme to it, and this year our theme is Hooked on Books.
Cool.
And so it's a book theme, and so all the booths as the kids trick-or-treat along will be a book theme.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of events other than the theme?
Yeah, so Outside of the general trick-or-treating, which is the main portion of the fundraiser, there'll be an activities room with face painting and other activities. We'll have a concession stand. There'll be a DJ playing music all day long.
Cool.
So
all day.
Yeah, it's a big Halloween fun.
Yeah, awesome. Kind of perfect for folks who maybe don't want to go out trick-or-treating after dark.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I think we kind of covered most of it. Can you repeat where, when, and cost, importantly?
Yep. So again, it's inside at the Anna Shrine in Bangor. That's 1404 Broadway.
Yep.
It's from 11 to 5 on Sunday, October 22nd. And from 11 to noon, we're going to be doing a sensory-friendly hour with the lights on and the music low.
Amazing.
And the cost is $5 a person, $5 a person, $15 a household, and all the money raised goes back to UCP of Maine.
Not too bad at all, and it's a good cause. Cool.
Yeah.
So it may rain this weekend, but that's okay because there's cool, fun indoor activities like this.
Yes, it will be inside. So,
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I think we covered it all. Andrew, thanks
Awesome.
for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. And otherwise this morning, not too bad as we start things off. Just some clouds developing in a few spots, though. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky for us today. The big picture looks a little bit like this. So we have a system right about here across parts of the Midwest, another one off for the north. High pressure across the south for now. We will be watching for more clouds and eventually some rain that will be moving in coming up very soon. A small chance tomorrow, but better opportunities as we head towards Friday night and the parts of Saturday. So as we do move forward, though, a partly cloudy sky will be the general idea for us today. By later on tonight, we're going to be watching for more clouds that will begin to approach, so will then become mostly cloudy overnight tonight and parts of tomorrow morning. Most of Friday dry until parts of the afternoon where slight chances for showers look to move in. Those might be overdoing it just a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on it, though. But small chances for showers possible Friday afternoon. Better opportunities overnight Friday night and parts of Saturday. Plenty of dry hours that will be expected as well. We'll be ready for the rain. Looks like the rain will be lasting through a good part of the weekend. And as for the winds, not too bad for us today. You might have a few gusts reaching up to around 15 miles per hour at times during the afternoon period. We'll then back off Thursday night or later on tonight. And the parts of Friday morning, but notice by Friday afternoon, some gusty winds possible up to around 20 to even 25 miles per hour at times. So our average high temperature is now ticked down to around 57 degrees. We'll do the lower to middle 60s today, tomorrow, and even in the parts of Saturday. The middle 50s for Sunday, lower 50s again for Monday, warming up a bit Tuesday in the middle 50s. And here we go, lower 60s again as we head towards Wednesday. The latest fall foliage map looks a little bit like this. Most of us are either at peak or even past peak now. Past peak in the Caribou area, Millinocket, Bangor, and Greenville are now considered at peak. So check out the fall foliage now before the leaves continue to blow away. So your forecast for today, lower 60s with a partly cloudy sky and a southwest wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, or for tonight though, upper 40s with a mostly cloudy sky and a south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now for tomorrow though, middle 60s, mostly cloudy, slight chance for showers and a south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. Here's looking at extended forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Rain really moves in later on Friday night into parts of Saturday, continuing into parts of Sunday as well before we dry out officially on Monday with a partly cloudy sky.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Gun Sports and Brewer knows that for fun, exercise, and meeting new friends, nothing is better than ice skating. Whether it's sailing down the ice, making a great pass, and scoring in a game of hockey, or the grace, strength, and expression of figure skating, From the youngest child all the way to adulthood, anyone can enjoy the fun of skating. At Gun Sports, we supply the equipment for your skating fun for great prices, the proper fit, and service after the sale. Shop your locally owned Gun Sports Shop, Greenpoint Road in Brewer.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Paradise Truth Box is now here.
The truth brings joy.
Braden and Rachel should make out.
And the truth can destroy.
Watch out for Kat.
Be mature men.
New Bachelor in Paradise tonight on ABC.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Fans can now vote on which one of these classic toys will be added into the National Toy Hall of Fame. 5 classic toys: the Pogo Stick, the Fisher-Price Corn Popper, My Little Pony, Pez dispensers, and Transformers will be voted on for this year's induction. Typically, Hall of Fame toys are chosen by a panel of members each year, but since it's the Hall's 25th anniversary, fans are allowed to vote on 1 out of 5 toys that have never made the cut. The winner will be added to the Toy Hall in addition to the 3 other toys that are annually chosen by the panel. You can vote once every day on which toy you want to see in the Hall of Fame until October 24th. Personally, I think I'd pick the Pogo Stick. It's very unique and hard to use. Okay, a hungry home intruder is caught on video wandering inside a home in Barkhamsted, Connecticut. I hope I didn't botch that. I probably did, though. I'm sorry, people from Connecticut. This is northeast of Hartford. It happened on October 11th. Surveillance video shows the bear standing in a room before it made its way into the kitchen. Once inside, the bear opened the freezer door and stole a package of frozen food. The bear then crawls out of the window and runs off with the frozen treat. The homeowner was not home at the time, but believes the bear got into her house through a cracked window. That is crazy. It's like he knew where he was going, and he went right there and then left. That's true intruder behavior. Burglarized by a bear. Good God. Okay, finally now, 2 deer were rescued from the frigid Alaska waters. Alaska wildlife troopers say they were out on patrol when they spotted the 2 animals near their boat. Troopers say it is not uncommon to see black-tailed deer swimming far out, often to other surrounding islands. In this case, however, both appeared distressed as they circled the boat and tried to climb on board. The troopers helped the animals onto the boat and later dropped them off in an area where they'd be safe from hunters. Oh, it looks so chilly. That's so sad. I'm so glad they're okay. I guess the Alaska waters are about 50 degrees this time of year, so they were quite chilly. Wildlife experts do not recommend people attempt to help wildlife, but instead contact the authorities. Okay, looks like we're about out of time. Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. If you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com. We'll continue broadcasting on Fox 22.